It worked. Oh, you know, I'm a big head swimmer anyway.
Yeah.
My head, I'll be dry everywhere, but my head. So I'm talking about this.
That's good.
Looks flashy.
Oh. I figure I'm always going to so much.
Yeah, no. You killed it.
Where are there things I consider?
All of them, everywhere. It gives you an excuse to get more wine.
Your ticket for the grind too.
Keep it safe.
Why didn't you do your laundry when Mom asked? Joey asked us that. Interrupt. You said something else. Joey, you got excited. Okay. Dad's here. Let's go. Hooray. Let's do this. Come on, Dad. You're telling us all. To my siblings. So we gotta teach you simple things. Kids back in school yet?
You actually leave home without a
Well, I can get by, but even my, I wanted to do my first year of school, and then I ended up going to a smile, and then with your eyes, so big. Yeah, I could hardly see what you're wearing. I was chalkboard and stuff.
I know.
So I went to something at Dinky Town. Read my eyes. I was so hard. 40 years. I still, I needed to see somewhere from it. I was cheaper but I still passed my driver's test when I was last. Yeah. He was right.
your next opponent. Right? It's not, but I wasn't even in the smash up.
Good evening, and welcome to the County Seat Theater Company's annual meeting, our 2020 annual meeting. We're so glad to have you all here in the house, and we're up to 14 on Facebook Live. So let's give them a big round of applause. Welcome, everybody. They'll see this in probably 20 seconds, but that's okay. So normally I start off the night and I just kind of highlight some of my items from my report. Tonight I'm going to go ahead and read through the whole thing. Just because I feel like it, and I want to soak up as much limelight as I can. So, here we go. 2020 was a year like none other. It started off like every other year. We had the wonderfully successful family production of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs as performed by Professor T.J. Barker's traveling troupe of theatricals. We had 17 actors on stage and full houses. We followed up that with the Hamry School of Voice, using our stage with nearly 20 vocalists, and then we were one of several locations participating in a newly developed county-wide traveling art show. And then it happened. We were in rehearsal for The Boys Next Door, only a week away from opening, when our world changed. COVID-19 hit us like a swift and powerful wave. Times changed, and so did our norms. Not only did we have to implement new recommendations such as mask wearing, temperature checks, and social distancing, but we ended up postponing The Boys Next Door 3 times, rehearsing via Zoom and even outside before finally being able to perform the production at 25% audience capacity. When our opening night finally arrived 21 weeks after the original scheduled opening night, the power went out halfway through the show. We finished the show using a laptop and some flashlights. If COVID-19 couldn't stop us thus far, we weren't going to let a storm shut us down. In the end, however, we were forced to postpone 2 of our productions, finishing School and Nonsense. Additionally, we had to cancel planned concerts, hosting the Carleton High School Theater production, as well as our popular children's and teen theater. Even with that, the sad news, we didn't let it bring us down. We went into survival mode, and survive we did. We followed all of the public health guidelines and recommendations, as well as created new cleaning and safety protocols before being one of the first theaters in the nation to reopen to the public. The crowds for The Boys Next Door were small but appreciative. This gave us the drive and boosted our will and ignited our passion to keep things going any way we could. So while waiting to get back indoors, we designed new opportunities. For 8 weeks during the summer, we held parking lot classes for our youth. We created an outdoor stage in our back parking lot where we hosted our parking lot theater shows, which started off as Carol Burnett radio skits and transitioned into an event that featured music, old radio shows, and original scripts by some of our own talented actors and directors. Our outside theater ended with a Halloween spooktacular featuring 30 performers, a drive-through haunted lane, an original radio show, and a 40-minute stage show featuring short skits and music. We even performed in a snowstorm. Not many actors can say they performed in a blackout and a whiteout and during a pandemic, but we can. We learned a lot. By the time our holiday show rolled around, we had learned to adapt to continuous change and roll with the punches. We adapted the version of A Christmas Carol we had slated for our Christmas production from a large cast to a small cast, which would allow for better social distancing on stage. We pre-recorded the show and made it available with video on demand. which ended up being a wise decision because only 2 weeks prior to opening night, we were again forced to close our doors to the public. I think the actors, directors, and audience patrons would all agree that it was not the same experience as having a live performance, but for those that were able to view it on demand, they were able to enjoy it from the comfort of their home. One benefit of the video on demand service was that people who may not normally be able to attend an in-person production were able to enjoy the show. Residents of area assisted care facilities were able to enjoy our production, as well as friends and families that live far away. We were able to reach audiences who would not normally know about us, but were able to see what we do here at the County Seat Theatre. Along with our first video on demand, we began offering virtual art shows, and we even uploaded some of our original shows to YouTube. Through everything, our sponsors, our advertisers, patrons, volunteers, actors, and directors have been, simply put, amazing. It was not a stellar year for profits, nor was it a conventional year by any means, but it was a great for inspiring, creating, and knowing that through anything, County Seat Theatre will survive and be here year after year, making the arts in Carleton County shine. With that, I'm going to turn it over to our Vice President, Miss Ruthie Brewer, to open up our business meeting.
Okay, so I would like to now officially call the County Seat Theatre 2020 annual meeting to order. For the roll call, Joel, can we please have a report on how many are attending in person and virtually? A lot, no.
16 and 17.
Okay.
More than last year.
Yeah, I think
Okay. The attendance is virtually noted. Thank you. On to our secretary report. Our secretary, Deb Bain, was not able to be here with us tonight, but she did provide the minutes from our last year's meeting, and they were sent out and put online in advance, and hopefully everybody got a chance to review the minutes. And unless there are any questions about that or corrections to the minutes, I would like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes as read, as stated. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded?
Aye.
All right, we have a second. Are there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay.
3 people said yes online, too.
Yay! Okay, we have a update to our bylaws that was done, and at this time I would like to ask Rick Brewer, our business manager, to come up and talk about the proposed change to our bylaws.
Sure, thank you. So, really, we don't change the bylaws very often, just when we identify a need. And it came forward that really one vulnerability or weakness that we had in the bylaws is that there is no stated way to deal with a board member who is being disruptive, unproductive, really not helping the organization, other than just waiting for their term to run out. So this is not intended to be a popularity contest if someone just ticks off the wrong person. So the language, and I think everyone's got it, either in paper or it is posted out there online for anyone who's attending that way. As you can see, it takes a supermajority, a 3/4 vote of the board of directors to remove that person. You can see that there is a process, kind of a due process for that. For people who haven't had a chance to see this, or maybe if online it isn't easy for you to find it, I will read this. So this is Article 4.10. It is within the language dealing with the Board of Directors. The board may remove any officer or director with or without cause by 3/4 vote of all directors then in office at any regular or special meeting of the board, if in their judgment the best interest of the organization would be served thereby. Each member of the board of directors must receive written notice of the proposed removal at least 10 days in advance of the proposed action. This notice shall include the time when and the place where the board is to take action on the removal. The officer or director being considered for removal shall be given an opportunity to be heard and the matter determined by the board at the time and place mentioned in the notice. An officer who has been removed as a member of the board of directors shall automatically be removed from office. So there is a process in place, so the person kind of has their day to be heard, but we feel this is a responsible measure, and I recommend that you act on this. The board of directors did vote at their last meeting to bring this forward for the membership to vote on at the annual meeting. Happy to entertain any questions.
Okay, well, since there's no questions, I'm going to entertain a motion to approve the bylaw change as presented. Do I have a motion?
Aye.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. We have a second. If there any discussion? Without any discussion, motion carried. Okay, thank you, Rick. At that point, we're going to have Rick stay up here and do a review of the 2020 financial statement.
Okay, thank you. I believe everyone's got the financials. Again, it's either on the back page of the packet for those who are here in person, or it is available online for people who are attending that way. You can see the third column of the fourth is current year. We've got 2018, 2019 this year, and then the budget on the far right. This year, as Joel said in his report, has been a year unlike any other. So it's been really very interesting doing the books here. I've been doing them since 2012, I believe, and this has been an unusual year. I've got to start off by saying that I'm very proud of County Seat and how all the members here have handled this pandemic. I have, for many, many months, probably since about April, been tuning in once or twice a week. Our national association, the American Association of Community Theaters, holds webinars on a regular basis to kind of talk about, sometimes it's just round tables, everyone's commiserating or talking about how they're dealing with this. Sometimes it's on very specific topics. And most of the country simply went black. And in the state of Minnesota and in our region, it mostly went dark. There were very few theaters even trying to do anything. And this place really, people busted their butts trying to figure out how to entertain folks, how to keep us in the eyes and minds and hearts of folks. So whether it was Joel standing outside with kids doing various things to entertain them instead of children's theater, instead of traditional children's theater, to the work outside for Halloween, to figuring out how to put on shows in a manner that was still safe for everyone involved. I applaud the efforts of everyone here, because a lot of people simply didn't work that hard at it and just said, we're going to try to wait this out. It's still a long way ahead, and so I think this was a smart move. That being said, you can see the top side of the income statement, the revenue area, down sharply from previous years and from the budget. We did not anticipate the global pandemic when we put together the budget for this year. I don't think anyone did. So the areas that we were farthest off clearly was the ticket sales, which is about halfway through the revenues, about 15,000 versus the previous years and where we had budgeted in the 70 to 80,000. We partially made up with that. For that, donations were very strong. A lot of people gave to us very generously during this time. I think Joel referenced that when he talked about individuals, sponsors, donors really came through and helped us out. And then you can see the third line down, the grants. We received 5 different grants. 2 of them were from the Arrowhead Regional Arts Council. 1 was from Carleton County. 1 was from the Moose Lake Area Chamber of Commerce. And then we did receive monies from the Paycheck Protection Program. All of those combined for just over $30,000. That was very helpful to us, obviously, in this year that was so very different. On the bottom side, the expenses were managed very well. I credit Joel, I credit the board of directors, and the people who were involved with the productions we were able to put together with helping to keep expenses down. The fact is, this place has ongoing expenses whether we're running shows or not. So many of the expenses you see here you could consider fixed, and we can't do a whole lot about them if we're going to have the place viable. So expenses were well under budget, but some of them were right on because they're the expenses we have whether we're producing a show or not. Overall, we did have a bottom line of $5,300, down from what we budgeted, down from what we expected, but I am honestly amazed that we were able to show a positive bottom line in this year. We had no business showing a positive bottom line. A lot of people worked very hard for that. Next year, I think we'll continue to be challenged. There are some programs out there that we'll continue to apply for, some financial assistance. I think that's going to help supplement us. We are open at 25% capacity, and we don't know what this next year is going to be like. None of us knows that personally right now. So I still expect revenues to be depressed next year. Our expenses will hold them in line, but some things we just can't control. So I'm expecting and budgeting a loss next year, but it's not crippling for us. We're a nonprofit. We're not giving dividends to shareholders or anything like that. No one is going to do a hostile takeover us if we don't have a positive bottom line. So we don't need to worry. We have good cash reserves. We're very stable. We're on course. If anything, this perhaps delays by a year the building project that we've been planning for and fundraising for. But once we kind of get back to normal, we'll continue that capital fundraising and we'll be right back on track. So this is a financial report that is probably 5 or 10 times longer than what you get in any other year, but there's been a lot of things going on that have affected us financially. I don't want anyone to panic. I don't want anyone to worry. We're doing fine financially. I'd be happy to answer any questions that anyone has about the financial statement.
All right. Thank you, Rick. So if there are no further questions, I would like to entertain a motion to approve the financial statement as presented. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. We have a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Next, we're going to have our, we're going to thank you to our outgoing board members. We have one person this year who has left the board of directors, and that is Mr. Greg Anderson. He served very well on our board, spending the last several years as our president. Resigned his position this year only because he was accepted as the role as our new artistic director, which I will talk about a little bit later. I'll talk about later. But at this time, we want to acknowledge and thank Greg for his time and his service on the board of directors. And we have a little gift for you, Greg, which I think you brought here. Yourself. So here's your gift.
Domino!
Okay.
Very artistic of you.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Okay, we are going to do a welcome of new board members, and there are two of our board members who their membership expired at the end of this year, and that is Larry Anderson and Ruthie Brewer. Both of those were eligible for another term, and both have agreed to serve for another term, so I would like to thank both of them for their past and continued service. Thank you. And their commitment to the County Theater. Thank you, Larry. Okay. With Greg Anderson's resignation from the board, another seat opened up, and so the board of directors nominated and accepted Mr. Tom Langemo as our newest addition to the board, with his term beginning 2021. Tom has a lengthy history in community theater, with himself and his wife, Rhea, having years of involvement in Dassel Cokato, the Fungus Among Us theater company. And many of us have gotten to know them over the years through statewide networking events and the different festivals. Tom and Rhea have attended shows right here at Encore and supported the County Seat Theater in many other ways. And we welcome the new ideas and viewpoints that he will bring to our board of directors. So thank you, Tom, for your joining our County Seat Theater family. The board of directors recommended those individuals for another 3 terms. I'm lost, I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, next we have our outstanding contributors presentation.
Here,
What?
we do need a motion though.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's what that was right there. Do I have a motion to accept, what is it? I don't
The
even, I'm lost.
nomination of those 3 individuals.
That's what it was. Do I have a motion to accept those individuals for their term?
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, motion carried.
Well, I need a vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. I think I'm lost. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's see. Okay, next, our outstanding contributor presentation. Joel Sokola, I'd like to ask you to come up and do this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruthie. You're doing an outstanding job. Everybody likes it when you screw up. I've learned that over the many years. I stressed for many years getting up here, and the more times I fall on my face or say somebody's name wrong, everybody appreciates that. So I'm going to see how well I can screw this one up as well. Okay? In 2006, the County Seat Theater Company awarded our very first Outstanding Contributor Award. Our theater's founder, Cheryl Kramer-Milder, was the recipient of this award for her many years of hard work, dedication, and contributions. And every year since, the County Seat Theater has recognized and honored individuals for their time, their commitment, their passion, and energy that they have given. Although this season looked different in many respects, when compared to a normal year at CST, the opportunities available to contribute one's talents were still there. There are many individuals that we could recognize. Individuals such as our wonderful business manager, Rick Brewer, who spends countless hours researching and writing grants, which bring in thousands of dollars that are very well needed, especially in a year such as this. Individuals such as our part-time office assistants, Cheryl Hernandez and Linda Erickson, whose days were filled with sanitizing, cleaning, organizing, and painting the theater while our shows were on pause, as well as calling and rescheduling postponed reservations numerous times. Individuals like Greg Anderson and Ruthie Brewer for helping coordinate and plan our parking lot shows. Individuals like Chris Nelson, who got creative putting together virtual art shows to highlight local artists. Individuals like Cindy Blanding, who donated items to our silent auctions to help raise supplemental funds for the theater during this pandemic. Additionally, what about the cast, crews, and directors who put in so many hours of hard work and additional efforts when working through a pandemic? Just think about all the extended rehearsal times, canceled shows, COVID-19 scares, and bottles of hand sanitizer used. The list goes on and on. For this year's Outstanding Contributor Award, County Seat Theater could not narrow the field to just 1, 2, or even 3 individuals. No, instead this year our outstanding contributor is you, our faithful patrons. After contributing to our 2019 capital campaign for a new addition to our facility, you once again stepped up and supported us during this pandemic. You gave big and helped us come out of this year not nearly as bad as it could have been. So here's to those of you who showed your support as a paid member, to you who gave an extra donation at this time to help us keep the doors open and the lights on, to those of you who donated back your season passes or your children's summer theater registration fees, to those who attended our events, whether they were indoors, outdoors, or online, to those of you who continue to share words of encouragement and promote the County Seat Theater, and to each and every one of you who would consider County Seat Theater your home. This is your theater, and we could not be more grateful to have you as part of our County Seat Theater family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And after this meeting, there will be a certificate on our Facebook page. We normally print a plaque, but since there's like 5,000 to 10,000 of you out there, that's not in our budget this year. And so you can go in and print off that certificate and put your name on it and frame it and put it on the wall. Or for a low price of $20.20, I will print it out and mail it to you. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our artistic director, Mr. Greg Anderson.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, I think I might be treading some ground that we've already gone over, but the sentiments are worth repeating, especially if they're coming from my mouth. Now, some of you may be asking yourselves, has County Seat Theater always had an artistic director? Well, the answer is no, but some time ago we had one of the best. Cheryl Kramer-Milder, our esteemed founder, was our AD for all intents and purposes until Joel was hired on as general manager, at which time she took on the official title of artistic director. And she really set a standard for that position until she decided to step back from the role almost 10 years ago. Until a few months ago, that position was vacant. I'm honored and I'm humbled to say that some folks suggested that I could take up the mantle, and I hope I can keep that proud tradition going. To get to the very heart of matters, I'm very proud of what we accomplished in 2020. Sure, we had our obstacles just like anyone else, but we managed to not only stick around, but also grow in some ways. Much of it has to do with Joel Sokola in particular, for being at the center of it all, just pivoting, brainstorming, reaching out, and just being present. And thanks also to all of you who contributed your times and your talents whenever you could. Huge thank you goes out to all of you who supported us just by showing up. When we had to cancel 2 shows and we had to postpone another, we wondered, would the audience even come back? You did. When we were desperate to create something out there and cobble together parking lot shows, we wondered, will anyone even want to show up to these things? And you did. When we finally decided to put a show on stage with limited seating, masking requirements, and social distancing, we wondered how many people will we get to even show up. And the answer was a lot. Even when we lost power during that first night, and we asked each other, should we even continue? The audience that night said yes. They wanted to stay. And so we did something, and we performed the rest of the show with cell phone lights instead of stage lights. And together we created an experience that I will never forget. When an executive order from the governor shut down all public performances during the month of December, we wondered, will anyone even want to watch what we put online? And you did. Yeah, throughout it all, you showed up and you supported us, and we are eternally grateful. It will be a year we'll never forget, but it wasn't all bad. Not by a long shot. In fact, we plan to continue to do a lot of the same things that we did out of desperation. I mean, first of all, parking lot shows are a lot of fun. We found that out. They're fun for us to perform, put together. They're fun to watch. We got some original content out of them, which we plan on continuing to do. You know, get some writing going on in here. Create something. Viewing shows online, I think, is a great option, especially for those who can't get out to see a show or just prefer to see it in the comfort of their own homes. And all of the 2021 season, we made sure had an available online streaming option. So that's the biggest lesson we'll take with us, is the confidence that we can accomplish a lot together. Despite the circumstances that can change from week to week. And I'm tremendously honored to take on the role of the artistic director. And I'm looking forward to a fantastic season. Speaking of which, here is the 2021 County Seat Theater season. We start off with our contest piece. It's a one-act play called Do Not Go Gentle, written by Susan Zeter and directed by Greg J. Anderson. Lillian Bodecker-Barron is 84 years old, vibrant, funny, wise, and recently deceased. During her lifetime, Lillian shared a special long-distance bond with her granddaughter Kelly and suffered an estrangement from her son Windsor, a colonel in the Air Force, as he moved his family from base to base all over the world. After her death, Lillian discovers that she cannot move on until the rifts are somehow mended. Windsor and Kelly come from overseas to settle Lillian's affairs and are aghast to discover that the walls of her house have been painted with wild, sometimes humorous, sometimes horrific murals and drawings. As they unravel secrets of the paintings, the two make astonishing discoveries about themselves and a special relationship between Lillian and a neighborhood child. This powerful, poignant play explores the wonder of words and the transformative power of art as it offers humor and hope to anyone who is or who has been a grandparent, parent, or child. We'll follow that up with a play called Almost Maine, written by John Cariani and directed by Jen Sokola. Welcome to Almost Maine, a place that's so far north it's almost not in the United States. It's almost in Canada. And it's not quite a town because its residents never got around to getting organized. So it almost doesn't even exist. One cold, clear night in the winter, as the northern lights hover in the star-filled sky above, the residents of Almost Maine find themselves falling in and out of love in unexpected and hilarious ways. Knees are bruised, hearts are broken, but the bruises heal, and the hearts mend, almost, in this delightful midwinter night's dream. Our next show is called Finishing School, written by Elaine Liner and directed by Ruthie Brewer. This comedy about life's second act finds older gents Al and Whizzer meeting on a park bench every morning to read and mock newspaper obits. Their daily rituals, shooting the bull about sports, women, loved and lost, and the many annoyances of aging, are suddenly shaken up by the appearance of a friendly young woman and her flirty mom. Whizzer pep talks lonely widower Al to convince him to break out of the self-imposed quantum of solace and maybe find love again, while also dealing with his own fear of ending up in the memory care unit at their assisted living facility. Punctuated with true-to-life moments familiar to anyone with an aging parent or spouse, this play takes an upbeat attitude toward life after 60, 70, and beyond. This fall, look out for Beer for Breakfast, written by Sean Grennan and directed by Joel Sokola. A group of middle-aged buddies reunite for a guy's weekend in a snowed-in cabin to eat chili, drink beer, and relive the good old days. Despite divorce, unemployment, and a stroke, spirits are high until Jessie, the wife of absent friend Adrian, shows up in his place. An epic battle of wits and stamina ensues. Will the men win their right to an all-out guy fest? Or will women be crowned the stronger sex after all? We're proud to end our season with a holiday tale, A Double-Wide Texas Christmas, written by Jamie Wooten, Jesse Jones, and Nicholas Hope, and directed by Larry Anderson. In this outrageous, funny comedy, it's Christmas time in the newest and tiniest town in Texas, and is beginning to look a lot like Trouble in Double Wide. Not only are the trailer park residents dealing with the stress of the holiday season, but they've discovered that Double Wide is being double-crossed by the county. With their official incorporation papers in jeopardy, this band of eccentric Texans throw themselves into taking on the big guys. Determined to bolster their legitimacy, they first set their sights on the county-wide Battle of the Managers competition. They conspire to win this smackdown with their nativity at the Alamo entry by any means possible. By the time this ends, you'll have doubled your Christmas spirit. Suspend the Yuletide in Double Wide and let this hilarious Jones Hope Wooten comedy make your Christmas merry and bright, because there's no place like a good old Texas-sized mobile home for the holidays. And that is our 2021 season. Thank you, everybody. Who's up next?
Slideshow.
Oh, slideshow.
We're going to review last year.
How about that? right, now we're gonna set up for some entertainment. We've got an original sketch for you tonight. I'll keep talking until people kind of get into their places, get themselves ready. Move the camera. This is a sketch we did for one of our parking lot shows. When we ran out of some material for, material for performing that we didn't have to pay for, we started making our own. This was one of the efforts, and I won't say it's good. I'll let you be the judge of that, but I did write it, so spare my feelings, Mom and Dad. I know I'm going to talk to you soon, so you made it. My mom and dad made it to the slideshow. I'm very happy about that. Is everybody ready to go? All right, here it is, Supermarket Showdown.
All right, well, welcome back, everyone. When we went to break, our 3 contestants were sent out to the supermarket to locate some very special items. Time's just about to run out. So it's time to finish up and get back your contestants in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're done. All right. Let's see what you're able to collect before the clock ran out. Let's remind everyone of the items you were looking for. First, filet mignon steak. Second, Yukon gold potatoes. Yukon gold potatoes. Third, salt. Next, we wanted you to pick up a 2-liter of Dr. Pepper. And finally, we're looking for Charmin's toilet paper. Mary, you finished you finished first in round 1, so you had a 1-minute advantage. What kind of meat did you grab us?
Well, Jack, with the pandemic, things were pretty picked over, so all that I was able to get was just some chuck steak.
Not bad, Mary. Frida, you came in second in the first round and started 30 seconds after Mary. What have you got?
I found a pork chop.
Don't worry, Frida. That's still pretty good. You can make up points in the other items. Steve, round 1 wasn't kind to you, and you started 30 seconds after Frida. What do you have?
All that was left was a can of Spam Light.
Ooh. Tough break, Steve. It's still anyone's game, though. Next, Mary. Were you able to find some Yukon gold potatoes?
Well, Jack, I got pretty close. I found a bag of russet potatoes.
Oh, hey! Great job, Mary. Frida?
Well, this one really threw me, so I thought I'd get a little creative. I found a bag of marshmallows.
Oh, I like your style, Frida. That was pretty creative, especially in a pinch. Steve?
I got this, Jack.
Well, it looks like a potato. Wait, is that even a potato?
Nope, it's an avocado that I painted gold.
That's just stupid, Steve. Let's move on. Mary, we're looking for salt. What did you bring us?
Well, I found Lowry's seasoned salt.
Whoa, wow! You almost hit the nail right on the head. Mary, things are looking very good for you. Frida, can you do better than that?
Well, this was another tough one, Jack. I was only able to find some candy sprinkles.
Frida, you put in great effort. After all, you found something you sprinkle on food to enhance flavor. That's sure to get you a few points. Steve, what's in your cart?
A tube of glitter.
I don't even know what to say, Steve. We better move on. Yes, the 2-liter of Dr. Pepper. Surely this would be pretty easy. Mary?
Jack, I found a 2-liter of Mr. Pibb. Now, that's got to be worth a pretty solid score.
Oh, pretty solid indeed, Mary. Frida, Dr. Pepper.
I thought I did pretty well on this one. I found a 1 liter of Schweppes ginger ale.
Hey, I like it, Frida. You found a tasty main beverage. Nice job. Okay, Steve. You've had a tough round so far. But as long as you brought us something you can drink, I think you'll be fine.
Does oven cleaner count? I have a can of oven cleaner. You can drink that, right? Technically?
I was wrong. That is not okay, Steve. I don't even have time to explain in the ways that is not okay. Okay, so let's move on to the final item. Mary, we're looking for toilet paper.
Well, this one was the toughest one yet. Oh, well, so anyway, I have a box of Kleenex.
Yeah. You know what, Mary? That's actually pretty good. COVID has really limited our options, so it's fantastic you found something that'll get the job done. Great round, Mary. Frida, were you also able to finish strong?
Well, I think I did all right. I found this length of hose, and I figured maybe you could use it as a bidet of sorts.
Well, actually, that's pretty all right. You're a clever one, Frida. In fact, I wouldn't mind going shopping with either of you ladies. I'm almost afraid to ask, but what kind of trash did you bring us, Steve?
Whatever. I picked up a toilet brush.
That doesn't sound comfortable at all, Steve. You're really embarrassing yourself today, Steve. Okay, but let's move on. Let's see what our final tallies are. Each item brings you a maximum of 10 points. For possible 50 points. Mary, you had a great day. Your total, 45 points! Frida, it looks like your total was 34 points. You may not end up with the highest total, but it was a genuine pleasure to have you on the show today. That brings us to Steve. Poor, lowly, stupid Steve. I won't drink this out, Steve. You got 8 points. That's the worst anyone has ever done on this show. So, today's winner is... Wait. Hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. It appears that there are some adjustments to the scores. Okay, yeah, I see. Even though Mary and Frida finished well ahead with the initial points, it seems that Steve was the only one to wear a mask, thusly disqualifying Mary and Frida. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Steve is our winner.
Yes! Take that, everyone! Not so proud of ourselves now, are we?
True, Steve. That is not a very proud moment. I guess that means you win our grand prize today. And that prize is a trip to South Superior. Hope you brought some masks. Anyway, I'm Trevor Doe, and thank you for joining us on Supermarket Showdown.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Great job.
Thanks, Ray.
Now, we may not have had a full slate of shows this past year, but we certainly didn't lack for quality in any of them. I was fortunate enough to see them all, and I hope you all did the same. In order to recognize some of the many fantastic contributions, we invited you to vote for your favorites in several categories. So here now are the awards for the Best of County Seat Theater for the year 2020. Maybe we should come up with a name for these. Yeah, why don't we call them the Greggies? That's a pretty solid name, right? Like, hey, I brought home a Greggy tonight.
First motion.
That's pretty good, lady. Way to go. Yeah, thanks, Tyler. Tyler's behind it, so everybody call them the Greggies. Or think about it anyway. Our 3 2020 shows were in chronological order. First up was our family show, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, as performed by T.J. Barker's Troupe of Theatricals, or as I like to call it, for the sake of brevity, SWAT the Tot. Or maybe we'll just shorten it out so we're not here all night to Snow White from now on. Next up was the funny and poignant The Boys Next Door, and then we rounded out our season with the classic A Christmas Carol. Here to present our first award is someone who made her mark in so many ways last year, in addition to all sorts of other years, Mimi Effinger.
Thank you. I'm pleased to present the first award of the night. These male actors each created memorable characters. The nominees for Best Actor in a Supporting Role, male, are Ken Peter for Snow White, Patrick Kinnersey for Snow White, Ben Robinson, The Boys Next Door, Brian Locken, The Boys Next Door, Michael Beatsy Rosen, The Boys Next Door, Joshua Effinger, A Christmas Carol, and Ken Peter, A Christmas Carol. And the award goes to Michael Beatsy Rosen for The Boys Next Door. Congratulations, Beatsy. Next is a person who almost directed Nonsense last year. But don't worry, because he'll be back directing a double-wide Texas Christmas this year, Mr. Larry Anderson.
And you have no idea how disappointed I was to not have 10 actors on the stage singing and dancing and making fools of themselves. It's what I live for, folks. Thank you, Mimi. As a director, it is so rewarding to watch our actors make the supporting roles stand out and really round out the world of the play. And these women certainly did that. The nominees for Best Actor in a Supporting Role, female, are Kay Wright, Snow White, Patty Hallbeck, Snow White, Mimi Effinger, Snow White, Jill Hoffman, Snow White. Good Lord, does this go on forever? Christy Wolbert, Snow White, Colleen Biskey, Snow White. Okay, there was 20 people on stage, right? Colleen Biskey for The Boys Next Door. Christy Wolbert, is that really right? The Boys Next Door. Samantha Lawrence, A Christmas Carol. And Ruthie Brewer for A Christmas Carol. And the award goes to... That's nice to have these envelopes right here. Oh, the award goes to Samantha Lawrence for A Christmas Carol. Yay! Congratulations and welcome. I hope you all keep coming back for the next category. Let's bring up, that's the wrong script. Good Lord, I can't even read a script.
Can I get my award? I forgot.
So, huh?
I was out visiting.
You didn't get an award.
Oh,
So, ladies, well done. Thank you to all of the nominees. I sure missed you this year. So be sure to audition for shows again this coming season. Now let me introduce one of those fantastic nominees, Ruthie Brewer.
Ruthie, you want your award?
oh.
Thank you, Larry. It's always so gratifying to see new blood come in and grace our stage here at County Seat Theater. Many times they'll hear me say to them, now that we've got you, we're not going to let you go. And these people have been new to our stage, but they acted like old pros. And hopefully each and every one of them has found a new home here with our County State Theater family. So with that, the nominees for Outstanding Newcomer are Patty Hallback for Snow White, Tanner Barrow for Snow White, Colt Sullivan for The Boys Next Door, Jacob Lopes for The Boys Next Door, and Tyler Anderson for A Christmas Carol. And the award goes to Patty Hallback for Snow White. Congratulations, and keep coming back. Those were my lines, Larry, that you said. Let's bring up my husband, Rick, the best BM in the business.
That was the line that got me, Ruthie.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ruthie. For those of you who don't know, BM stands for Business Manager.
Oh!
I work in healthcare, so it means something different to me, which I think Joel knows. He says I'm his favorite BM. BT, come up and get your award.
Okay. Thanks. This is a real privilege.
Okay. Which word did you win? We should give you the right one.
It's the tiniest one.
Yeah. There are no small roles, BT.
Only small actors I know.
Get one, you can change it later.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Wonderful. The great contributions to our productions don't end with the people on stage. There's a lot of work done behind the scenes for each show. They're the kind of things that might go unnoticed, but certainly not because they're not valuable. These are the nominees for Outstanding Design. Thank you. For Snow White, Joel Sokola, Scenery, Jen Sokola, Costumes, Joel Sokola, Lights. Great conversations at home, I'm sure. For The Boys Next Door, Joel Sokola, Scenery, Joel Sokola and John Justed, Lights, Jen Sokola, Sound. And A Christmas Carol, Joel Sokola, Lights, Greg Anderson and Joel Sokola, Scenery, Joel Sokola, Greg Anderson, Sound, Ruthie Brewer, Live Sound, and Amy Effinger, Costumes. And the award goes to, for Outstanding Crew, oh, that's the next award, but I'm going to have a look in front of you. We'll see, we'll find it here eventually. There is no envelope. Anyone want to arm wrestle for it? Is there some way we can decide this? I'm so glad this happened to my cat. Joel said people like it when they're screwed. So this will be announced at a later. Thank you for stealing my envelope. I'm not sure what the decision process is. It's okay. And the winner is, for Snow White, Joel and Jen Sokola. There's labels on each one. You're not finding your award. Honest to God. Okay. A hearty thank you to all the nominees. Our next category will be presented by an incredible addition to our group of actors, Tyler Anderson. Tyler.
How in the world am I supposed to follow that up? All right. So, thank you, Rick. As you can see, I'm very happy to be here. And I'm happy to help recognize the people that perform the background elements of the plays here. These folks keep clean, well lit, and sounding great. Here are the nominees for Outstanding Crew. For Snow White, Karen Murphy, lights. Miriam Aperture, music. For Boys Next Door, Karen Murphy, lights. Annabelle Sokolow, sound. And Jen and Lauren Sokolow, stage. For Christmas Carol, Karen Murphy, lights. Rick Burr, sound. And Liz Sinisale, did I get that right? Yeah. Yes! Music. All right, the biggest question on everyone's mind right now is, will Karen Murphy win the award for lights? All right, let's cue the suspense because I'm going to find this right away. And the award goes, Outstanding Crew? Outstanding Crew, right. The award goes to Karen Murphy. For the Boys Next Door with Annabelle Sokolow, Jen and Lauren Sokolow. All right. This here so it doesn't get mixed up, right? Congratulations, Karen and the Karenettes. It's my pleasure to hand it over to the County Seat Artistic Director, Lord Gray Anderson.
Great time with Tyler. Great job with that. Believe it or not, I've been involved in all the shows here at County Seat. Not all the shows, but I've been involved in some shows for 4 different decades now. Once I thought back on it, I've seen so many wonderful people grace our stage, and it's a special treat to see all the youth talent that we have. And in some cases, we get to watch them grow up on stage and become the stars of the future. Now here are 5 young actors who will hopefully have a long career in theater themselves. The nominees for Outstanding Youth Actor are Annabelle Sokolow for Snow White, Lauren Sokolow for Snow White, Amy Wolbert for Snow White, Amanda Broadway for Snow White, and Reuben Olsen Williams for Snow White. I don't envy anybody who had to direct all those people. Let's see, and the award goes to Annabelle Sokolow for Snow White. Congratulations, Annabelle. Here's too many more nominations for all of you. Now to introduce the next category, I'll turn things over to someone who has done shows here in 5 different decades, Mr. Beatsy Rosen. Come and take more of our time. Huh? Come take more of our time. Oh, okay. Just waste it. It's okay.
Okay.
You want to sprint around the block first?
No. Am I supposed to say something?
Well, yeah. I sent this to you.
No, I didn't see it.
Here you are, Beatsy. It says your name.
Oh, boy, I should have glasses. Actually, before I go into that, it's been a wonderful thing to be a part of this here because I think Karen and I and Ruth Stewart and Cheryl, I'm trying to think whoever started in 1987 as a fundraiser for the band in Carleton. And so I think maybe there's somebody else around who was there to start it, and she auditioned me when I worked, I guess I owned the museum at the time, and she auditioned me at the bar to do The Odd Couple, and that was our first show, right? Yeah, so
I don't know about the bar thing, but
that's what she auditioned me because I think Denny Sauter led her on to that, and so I started there, and I have a funny story because I've done a few theater things here. can't remember how many shows, but quite a few. But I also take the garbage, and we have some wonderful people here who allow us to, instead of having a dumpster here, this really sounds odd, but Carmen's and the Country Club and my apartment, who's owned by Neil Nimmers, allows us to take our garbage and put it there rather than have a dumpster here. So it saves a whole bunch of garbage money, if that makes any sense. So one day I'm collecting the garbage after a show, and this guy says, "Do you like that job?" I said, "Yeah, it's really one of my favorite things to do." He said, "You know, you seem like you have some kind of charisma. Maybe you should get on stage." I said, "I've been trying, but they really never hired me. But one of these days, I think I should happen to get on there. I think I'd love it." He said, "You should try it. Really, you should." I said, "Thank you for offering. I'll do my best." Anyway, I had this email. Thanks, Greg. And thanks for pointing that out. I was one of the leads in the very first productions of this theater. Wow. How did that happen? I didn't even notice it was there. The Odd Couple, and I've gotten to be guided by many great directors. We've had 3 capable artists at the helm of our 2020 plays. Here are the nominees for Best Director. Jen Sokolow, The Boys Next Door. Greg J. Anderson, Christmas Carol. Joel Sokolow, Snow White. And the award goes to... That's right.
Yeah, that's the one.
You never know what's in the bag. Joel Sokolow for Snow White!
I know right where that one's at. It pays to have a big cast. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, wow. Congratulations to all the nominees. Our next presenter is one of our newest stars, and hopefully you'll get to see him in many more of our upcoming shows. Please welcome Josh Evinger.
Thank you, Beatsy, for regaling us with tales of people that have auditioned you at the bar. Now we turn our attention to the actors who played central roles in last year's productions. First, we highlight these men who successfully took on challenging lead roles. The nominees for Best Actor in a Leading Role, male, are Sean Biskey, Snow White; Tanner Barr, Snow White; Sean Biskey, The Boys Next Door; Jacob Lucas, The Boys Next Door; Colt Sullivan, The Boys Next Door; Greg J. Anderson, The Boys Next Door; and Tyler Anderson, A Christmas Carol.
Come on, find it. The suspense is killing me.
Hold on, guys. That's the one there.
Just a pile of envelopes here.
Yeah.
And the award goes to Sean Biskey for Snow White. Congratulations. This next award is presented by our fearless leader, our tireless general manager, set builder, director, actor, benevolent figurehead, Mr. Joel Sokolow.
Thanks, Josh. I'm pleased to present these nominees who all played powerful, pivotal roles in our production last year. We have an abundance of talented women here at the County Seat Theater, and we hope to find showcases for all of them. These are the nominees for the Best Actor in a Leading Role, female. Amara Parks, Snow White. Samantha Lorenz, Snow White. Ruthie Brewer, The Boys Next Door, and Mimi Effinger, A Christmas Carol. And the award goes to... Ruthie Brewer, The Boys Next Door. Congratulations, Ruthie, and thank you all for sharing your talents with us. We've got some great opportunities this year, so keep your eyes open out for auditions. And our final award, please welcome back to the stage, Mr. Greg J. Anderson.
Woo! All right, last one. Thanks, Joel. Now it's come down to this. I was lucky enough to participate in all 3 of the shows last season in some capacity. I was the artistic liaison for the first. I was an actor in the second and a director for the third one. And all 3 productions deserve a lot of praise. And everyone involved should feel tremendously proud. The job's well done all around. The nominees then for Best Show Overall are Snow White, The Boys Next Door, and A Christmas Carol. The award for the Best Show Overall goes to The Boys Next Door. Congratulations. And congratulations to everybody and anybody who contributed to our success last year. Here's to another artistically prosperous season. Thank you very much. I think it's time to award some more surprises, right? Who's doing that? Not me.
No. Here, you can help Ruthie.
All right.
You decide what she's going to draw for first. We've entered everybody that's at home watching. They'll be on a yellow ticket. Everybody else, does everybody have a red ticket that's in the audience here?
Very good,
one. Who still needs one?
I do.
And 2 in the back. I did it wrong, okay.
Sure, Joel.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, this will be for redeemable for 2 seats at the performance of your choice. A gift certificate to County Seat Theater.
Virtual or in person?
Virtual or in person. It's Janine Garris. Well done, Janine. You put your name on something. Here's another one. A County Seat Theater gift certificate. In person or online.
Yes, yep.
Indeed. 2 seats. Performance of your choice. Thank you, Ruthie. The number is 324-080. Woo! There's the man out there. Is that Jacob?
Yep, that's me.
It comes with toilet paper.
Oh, really?
Can I throw it to you?
Yeah, if you want
This will
to.
be
Just,
fun.
yeah, Donald Trump, huh?
I want you to watch out for the lights, everybody.
No. Take one.
All right, next, this beautiful sporting sweatshirt for Encore. Everybody get your tickets, your red tickets. 324-071.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, it's somebody who thinks he's a good Lord.
Very excited about it.
Oh, I got it. Harrison Anderson.
Over everything.
There you are, my friend.
Thank you.
Enjoy. So,
Now we just need our Madam Vice to adjourn us.
welcome back to the stage, Vice President Ruthie Brewer.
at this time, I am going to entertain that we adjourn the 2020 annual meeting. Do I have a motion? Second.
Second.
We don't need to discuss. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Good night, everybody, and thank you so much.
Never had a motion.